Let's go start baking. Today I'm going to be demoing how I make my French bread. And I thank you all for liking my video and following me on Instagram and Facebook. I really do appreciate that. First, let me show you my ingredients. It's gonna be salt. We're going to be using 2 teaspoons of salt, a 4th cup of glutinous rice flour, about 4 tablespoons of white sugar. I'm using raw sugar, and of course 4 teaspoons of yeast. French bread doesn't use milk nor eggs, and I'm just going to be using plain warm water. Okay, let's start measuring. First, we're going to be measuring 8 cups of all-purpose flour. I'm adding the glutinous rice flour, and of course the 4 tablespoons of sugar. And I'm just going to be mixing this well. And then I create a hole in the middle and add my 3 cups of warm water. I'm going to be mixing this all up. Bread doesn't use butter, it uses olive oil. So I'm going to be measuring 4 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil. You can just use plain olive oil or virgin olive oil, but I like the extra virgin. I'm just going to continue combining all these, and then I'm going to be moving it to the bread machine. for kneading. Again, this is my machine, and we're going to be kneading them and let the machine do the process. So first I adjust the dough. I'm going to place it to just the dough making. So that's number 8. There. And then I hit start. And there it goes. And it will do the kneading job for me. Now it's starting to do the kneading process. That's how helpful this machine is to me. This machine also comes with cookbook. So if you're interested in purchasing one, Cuisinart, I find Cuisinart one of the best bread machine. Comes with cookbook. There's a lot of bread recipe in this cookbook. This is also where I took my French bread recipe with a little modification on the ingredients. So there goes. It's going to be for maybe about half an hour. And then I'm going to be transferring this to a rising bowl and rise it inside my oven using just the light, because the light warms the inside of the oven. I'm going to be using all these for rising, and I oil it. And I use about 1 teaspoon of olive oil to just grease the bowl, my scale, the dough cutter, and this time I'm going to be using a rolling pin. After kneading for about, I think 10 minutes only, or maybe 15, we're going to be removing this and transferring it on a rising bowl. I'm just going to turn on the light. After 45 minutes, we're ready to bake. We're going to be preparing our dough. First, you deflate it. I have placed some flour on my working mat and transfer my dough. There I'm going to be cutting and measuring them. It's going to be, maybe I'll make about 3 big ones, and the rest will be just a small bread. So just remove all the air from the dough, and we're going to be cutting them. Maybe I'm going to put about close to 200 grams on the big bread, and maybe just about 125 or 115 on the small ones. I have 125 grams on the small ones, and the big ones are about 250 grams. I was able to make 9 small bread and 3 large ones. So I'm going to be preparing this now, and I need to cover these with my cloth so that it doesn't dry while I work on the big ones first. And I'm going to be using what you call a French bread tray. So that's That's where it's going to go. So I'm going to have to roll this to shape it. So we're going to make this rice for about 30 minutes. While we're waiting for the bread to rise, we're going to prepare the cooling rack. And here are my wire racks. We're going to get it ready. The next step is scoring the bread, and I'm doing it diagonally. I'm using a blade. Then I spray it with water. Bake it at 350 for 25 to 30 minutes. Our bread are done. So we're going to be placing this on a cooling rack. And I'm going to grab the other bread. I had to bake this an additional 5 minutes because it was at the bottom of the oven and it did not cook that well. So I need to add additional 5 minutes to it. And there you have it, our French bread for today. There you have it, folks, our French bread. We're going to do a little taste. It's still warm, it's still very hot, so normally you don't eat it very warm like that. We know we love the freshly baked bread. So I'm going to be showing you how it's so hot. I could not handle it. I have to wait for it to cool down. So again, that is how nice this bread is. See, it's still very hot, so let me just put some butter. Super good. This is really bad for me, but Hope you enjoy my video. Till next one. Thank you for watching.